Hello, BookTube. Thought I'd do some odds and ends. Um, no special theme to the video. There is a bit of book trek in it. What I've been reading and a recent acquisition. So let me talk about the acquisition first. This was strictly by chance, and I was thrilled to find it. Um, and that's this old science fiction magazine, Aboriginal Science Fiction. I used to get these back in the day. Here are some covers. You could buy the art back then. And this one is March, April 1991. Um, Three-time Hugo nominee, it says on it. It's sort of a fan fiction, or it's a place for new writers to break through a lot of times, but some of the nonfiction columns were by established people. An example here being The Dangers of First Contact by David Brin. Uh, so, let's see, stories by Rick Shelley, Ann K. Schwader, Robert A. Metzger, Terry McGarry, and Mike Byers. This one this one has some pretty good art in it. They do credit the artist right at the top of the article there. Yeah, I'm holding my hand in front of it. This is sort of a nice piece. This thing's 60 plus pages long. Out here, art by Pat Morrissey. See if I can keep my fingers out of the way of that one. Am I getting that? Yeah. Like 67 pages, I think I looked at it. Yeah, 67 pages long. They weren't always the best, but they were fun. We get these. I get the Digest magazines, Asimov, Analog, Fantasy and Science Fiction, and then, but eventually, a new one came out called Science Fiction. What was it? Science Fiction Age. Now I'm forgetting. But anyway, um, that was a recent find, so it's an odd thing, but I'm glad to have it. Um, just started. I had started reading this a month ago, and it got buried under a pile of books, so I'm picking it up again. This is Clive Cussler's an Isaac Bell adventure, which are among my favorites, and Jack DeBrule is the author of this, basically. Yeah, it's 1914. Let's see. Isaac Bell, the main character, a Van Dorn detective, and an aerial launch is attack. An aerial attack is launched against Woodrow Wilson's yacht, and it's a thriller. I tend to like them. I like the original Dirk Pitt stories. I like the Isaac Bell stories probably the best now. The Fargo stories were husband and wife archaeology team. I like. Yeah, so I'll be reading that's a day's read. Um, as far as book trek goes, along with Brandy at Booklectic and a bunch of others. I think some of the names are still being added, so I'm not going to do a list right now. We're going to be reading Strangers from the Sky. You can see I have this beat up old paperback. I read it years and years ago, I think. I remember reading it, and then I'm looking at the back of it going, and it's probably been what? When did this come out? I would have bought it immediately. 1987. So, yeah. I just don't remember it. I probably read it then. Don't know if this copy is the one I got then or not. Let's see. In the 21st century, united at last after countless years of warfare, humanity turns towards the stars. But when an alien spacecraft crash lands in the South Pacific bearing visitors from another world, the Vulcans, Earth must decide whether to extend the hand of friendship or the fist of war. While in the distant future, horrible dreams torment Admiral James T. Kirk. Dreams prompted by his reading of Strangers from the Sky, a book about that historic first contact. Dreams of an alternate reality where he somehow changed the course of history and destroyed the Federation before it began. And that last part I don't remember. I'm sweating. I'm in my little grotto, right? And I've got it, you know, I'm out in my little grotto. It's hotter than it blazes outside. I have a fan here. I'll turn it on just so you guys can. The reason I turned it off, I don't know if you can hear the humming, but I was afraid during the video that you would. So, yeah, I turned it off. Can I turn this on? Yeah. So this is, I've got the, they never do things the way you want, do they? Okay. Hello? Oh, where are we at? Let's see. Bear with me. I'm not a Kindle guy, but I do have a Kindle, and then, so I have the book on here. I occasionally find it helpful if I'm at the doctor's office, if I'm sometimes at work, depends on what I'm reading. If I'm traveling, there's nothing better, but most of the time it just sits there. One thing I'm amazed about is the battery. It seems like I never charge this thing, and it's always okay. I don't know. When I really need it and I don't do it, I'll pay for it, right? So a book I just finished. I've read this before. I'm looking to get back into this series again for no good reason. I just like them. I just finished this. I think I started a long time ago, put it down, and picked it up and finished it. It was The Intriguers by Donald Hamilton. It's a Matt Helm book. It says there it's a new Matt Helm book. Well, at the time it was. When did this come out? So this is a Fawcett Gold Medal book, obviously. So this is copyright 1972, and this paperback was published in January of 73. So Matt Helm, whose code name is Eric, works for this spy agency, basically. And they're just, I don't know, Nick Carter, James Bondish, that type of thing. And I love them. They're not great literature, but I do like them. So, name, Matthew Helm. Code name, Eric. Mission, number 14, The Intriguers. That's the book number. Remarks, Matt was on vacation in Mexico with nothing on his mind bigger than a fish when some joker tried to shoot him in the back. Naturally, it was no accident. When secret agents get shot at, it's never an accident. So Matt had to go back to work immediately, and for a bonus, he was given his boss's beautiful daughter as a playmate in peril. Well, his boss's beautiful daughter ends up being a bit of a problem, mission-wise. She's involved in stuff. His boss, Mac, is the ultimate manipulator, and he's hidden behind the scenes. A lot of really good small boat incidents in this, and they move from out west to eventually Florida and in the mangroves, which I've driven boats through many times, and they can be challenging. Little channels, run out of water. Tide means a big deal there because of sandbars and stuff. The mangroves themselves are full of critters. Beautifully done in this. I actually really, really enjoyed it. I know I read it a long time ago, but I was young and some of it probably went over my head, but really, really loved this. So Hamilton, so the main character in this, Matt Helm, claims not to know much about boats. But the guy who wrote it, Donald Hamilton, knew a lot about boats. And here is one of his nonfiction books. I read this for a BookTube event years ago. If anybody remembers what that event is, let me know down in the comments. And this was Donald Hamilton's Cruises with Kathleen. Matt Helm's creator gives up power and returns to sail. And it's a real, and there's a sailboat. He was quite an accomplished guy. Let me see. Kathleen's cruises weren't epic voyages, but when the creator of Matt Helm thriller series gives up powerboats and returns to sea under sail, the result is sometimes traumatic, often joyful, and always interesting. Donald Hamilton, author and sailor, is an inquiring and opinionated man whose salty advice on everything from hull design to electronic gadgets is well worth reading. and heating. So Hamilton cruises with Kathleen begin in a frigid Vancouver, Canada, where his little ship was born, and concludes in the balmy Bahamas, where his midnight thoughts include dreams of future passages. Sometimes he sails solo, other times with a son or a wife. Alone or with crew, Donald Hamilton's adventures are certain to inspire others follows in the wake. Now, this was just an outstanding nonfiction work by him. So, yeah, I can't remember what the event was. So this one, so what was the one I read? The Intriguers was number 14, right? So this, a later printing, obviously, is The Damagers. See if they tell us which number it is. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's way later. That's how many volumes there are in the series by then. And this one, take a gorgeous companion, you'll see a theme, right? For a leisurely sail on a beautiful yacht. Theme 2. Sounds like easy duty for Matt Helm, except that the last 3 captains of the yacht died under mysterious circumstances. The next time sharks circle the boat, Matt had better be ready if he wants to stay alive. It's an assignment that will have Matt tangling with a crew of dangerous women, an Arab terrorist squad, and an elite organization of death-dealing specialists, led by a suave psychopath with a very personal reasons for wishing Matt Helm serious harm. I know, there's hundreds and hundreds of books like that, but he writes well. I enjoy his stuff, so I will continue on. I'll finish the... I left this on, sorry. I'll finish the Clive Cussler first. I've glanced through that Aboriginal science fiction and reread a few things, but I'm pretty much done with that. I'll just put it in the collection. So, yeah, I thought I'd stop by, chat. Looking forward to the Book Trek Strangers from the Sky thing, because like I say, now I'm questioning myself as whether I read it. So, and if I did, obviously I need to reread it because I can't remember. So I hope all is well with everybody and everybody's keeping nice and cool. And thank you, BookTube.